I have a 19-year-old who's probably, according to all predictions, going to have a multiple of careers during his lifetime, as opposed to my generation where we've had maybe one, maybe two careers. I think these days the youth are wanting shorter term educational, vocational training. I think the opportunities to allow them to incrementally specialise is where we need to be heading with apprenticeships.
The industry's changed so much. I think it's now, we almost run a two-tier training, we almost need a two-tier training session. I'm a believer of the old system. That's probably part because I came through that way, and it taught me extremely good skills, and it taught me basics of everything. That, having said that, it's not relevant now to all businesses. So I think we could leave that area of the training as it is, but then bring in other areas of training where it's component driven. Yep. There's, and that's more driven to the high volume guys, where you just have carpenters just doing framing, yep, and you just have fix out carpenters. And if you had those components as a qualification within themselves, then I think there's a real element that could work for the industry.
There will always be an ongoing requirement for a craftsman in every area. Not everything can be done automation, and automation has its limitations. I think there'll be disruption, and the bulk of houses, sooner than most people think, will be automated to a large extent, either off-site, or panelisation, or compartmentalisation, modulation. There's a series of things, technologies that are emerging, and there's a number of companies doing research into them. But that will have an effect, but there's always going to be the demand for the true craftsman in every area.
I think with the young guys coming through, we do need a little bit more specialised training. I think in a couple of areas, some examples would be with carpenters, for example. In the cottage industry, the guy doesn't need to have to be able to build the whole home. We have framing carpenters, so to do a 4-year course on just framing would be too much. I think we could get someone that could be specialising in framing, someone else that could be specialising in fix-outs. That would be handy.
I think that the times are very much changing, and we need to move with those times and recognise that a system that we have had for however many years, 50 years, and may have been great for 50 years ago, is not what we need today. People are learning in a very different way. The working environment is very different, and we need to adapt to that as we go.